What's going on, everybody? It's your guy Black J19. I just wanted to come on here and voice my displeasure, like many of you have, with Sony and the way that the PlayStation 5 release has launched. If you've been living under a rock, you know that trying to find a PS5 has been next to impossible. And if you have been able to find one, chances are it's on websites like eBay and StockX, where the price has just been marked up to somewhere around, double the asking price. If you've been on YouTube, you know that there's drop watch streams going. No information. Look, this guy's even got a fake counter, maybe dropping in. There's no concrete information as to when these consoles are dropping, but people are just streaming just to stream because there's a huge hype atmosphere around the release of the PS5. And look, his counter just keeps restarting. Here's another one, just live streaming. We don't know what's going on. We don't know what's going to drop. No one has any confirmed drops. We're just streaming just to stream because we're bored. We don't have anything to do, and the people want a PlayStation 5. Given the pandemic, it's probably the only thing that's going to allow people to have some kind of escapism, as you can't go to the movies, you can't go out to eat, you can't go roller skating. I don't even think you can go paintballing because everything everywhere for the most part has been shut down. And Sony had a rare opportunity to have, and I guess they still do have, their target audience's 100% focused attention, but the ball has been dropped severely. It's not like you had planned for a rollout and then COVID happened. COVID happened at the beginning of the year. You know people were going to be locked down, not able to go anywhere, yet and still you hadn't done anything to curb the lack of supply, so to make sure that it meets demand. I don't know why there is this scarcity situation whenever these consoles are released. I come from an era where if you wanted the NES, you just walked into a store and you bought it. If you wanted a Nintendo 64, you just walked into Toys R Us and you bought it. If you wanted a Dreamcast, you walked into KB Toys and you bought it. Now this is what we're faced with. People who are listing fake listings on Facebook, a PS5 550. The thing that automatically lets me know that this is a scam is, one, a brand new console, and this guy's only trying to sell it for around $50 profit, when the actual going rate on the secondary market is every bit of 1,000. And I understand there's some good people out there in the world, but very rarely does the greater good outweigh own self-interest. And I'm pretty sure if we do a quick Google search for the image, oh, maybe not. Nope, there it is. That same image is being used on like multiple websites. That should tell you everything you need to know about it. So this guy's probably like, oh yeah, 550, I'm a good guy. I want you to be able to enjoy the game console for the holiday. I want your kids to be happy. Send me the 550 on PayPal and I'll go ahead and ship it. You're lying. And I don't mean this, the launch was botched in a way where, oh, there were a few hiccups or a few snafus. I mean, dropped the ball, missed opportunity all across the board. How many of us saw this webpage pop up after the PS5, the PlayStation 5 was originally in our cart, and we went to go check out and we were hit with the oh dear dog and antlers photo on Walmart's website? Now, I know what some of you may be saying, oh, well, that was just the initial rollout. That didn't really happen too much after the 12th, after the launch. Okay, well, what about Kohl's canceling people's orders after they were already charged and after they had already received confirmation letters? Or how about this one? Just yesterday, Amazon apologizes after gamers received cat food and other stuff instead of a PlayStation 5. This whole entire thing was botched all across the board. In a day and age where our avenues for entertainment are so limited, and the only thing people really want to do is be able to enjoy the time that they have while they're forced to sit on their hands, and probably for good reason, and indulge in a little bit of escapism. After the fact, some people have already upgraded their gaming setups, bought new TVs to make sure that at least they could enjoy 4K at 60 frames per second. God forbid if you were one of these people that upgraded to an 8K TV so that you could actually game in 4K 120 frames per second. Or in the event that 8K gaming becomes available on the PS5, you're able to take advantage of that and at least 60 frames per second, 8K at 60 frames per second, which, if you do ask me, I think that would be pretty impressive. But for people not to be able to go into their local store, plop down $500 or $400 for a PS5 optical edition or the PS5 digital edition and not be able to take that home it's saddening. You had people camped outside of GameStops all across the country. And I do mean literally camped outside. What is this, a couch? Is that a sectional? I don't know, a bed or something. I don't know. But it looks like two young individuals, maybe a guy and his brother, bags of food for the chance to try and get a PS5. And many of these GameStops only had two systems, so I don't even understand why there would be a line of multiple people. Or even I've heard some GameStops luring people in only for them to receive no PlayStation 5, no Xbox One X. Maybe the ideology there is, well, as long as you're in their store, they may actually buy something. Listen, I understand there are a lot of older people that run these establishments that are behind the decision making. This isn't Dillard's. This isn't Marshall Fields. This isn't Hudson's. This isn't Bloomingdale's. People are, I don't know when the last time you've been in a GameStop, but people are not going to GameStop to just browse around. There is little to nothing there to actually capture someone's eye and make them want to buy something that they did not intend to buy. You go into a GameStop, you are there for one specific item and that specific item only. Don't lie to the people. Don't try to corral them into the store in hopes that you can talk them into buying an overpriced subscription plan to something that isn't going to give them any value add whatsoever. They're coming to your store for a specific reason, and that reason alone. And in yesterday's case, or this morning's case, it was for a next generation console. These stories of gamers trying to get their hands on a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series X or Series S is not isolated. This was happening all across the board. Sony, PlayStation, Microsoft. From what I understand, at least with Microsoft, it's a little bit easier to get your hands on an Xbox, if that's your thing. But Sony dropped the ball all across the board. You know people are going to want your console. It's been this way since the PlayStation 3 came out. There was a little bit of hype with the PlayStation 2. PlayStation 3, to the best of my memory, is when a lot of this camping out, gotta be first in line started. You know people are going to want your consoles. Why don't you just flood the market? And I don't want to hear anyone say, oh, well, they didn't know demand was going to be that high, or COVID had put restrictions on shipping or the like, whatever. I don't believe it. COVID wasn't anything new by the time these next generation consoles had come out. We knew there were going to be problems. And if I'm the consumer and I know there's going to be problems, if I'm the person sitting in the chairman's position, the CEO position, I'm saying ramp up production and let's get these things fixed. Let's make sure that people who want a system can get a system in their hands. Now, if you want to get one, you've got to go to, again, second party websites, StockX, Best or eBay, and pay double the price just to even run the possibility, just to even get a whiff of a PS5 or Xbox Series X or Xbox next generation console bricking. Because these are new and they're going to have problems, and that's a totally different rant. Don't get me started on that. Moral of the story is people want to game. I have never seen a company fail so bad at taking money from people who want to give the company their money. It's amazing. It is amazing. I'll tell you what, Nintendo never did this to us. Never. Y'all remember how hyped the N64 was? GoldenEye, Perfect Dark, Mario Kart, a litany of other games. You wanted an N64, you just walked in and you got it. No problem. You just walked in and you got it. Myers, Countdown, and the queue restarting over and over and over again. Like, what? It's like amateur hour. All these websites having trouble. They just need to fire everybody in their IT department. It wasn't a very smooth transition. It wasn't a very smooth process. Many people are going to have to wait until spring 2021 just before they can even get their hands on a console. And why? Because the people at Sony were too short-sighted and didn't understand, you know what, maybe we should just flood the market with our product. People are going to want it anyway. It's been that way again since PlayStation 3 came out. Maybe even before that, maybe even PlayStation 2. So if you guys, you know, I'm in the same boat as you all. My significant other, my wife, she went out and she got 2 games, Cold War and Spider-Man Miles Morales. I'm excited to play those. When she told me she got them, I said, babe, I'll be honest with you, I appreciate it, but they're kind of useless without the console to play them on. You know, I can't play them on a PS4. And I'm always excited to play the next generation of consoles. I've been a gamer, gosh, since the very early 90s. Since playing Mortal Kombat 3 on computer when Windows 95 was a thing. So if that tells you a little bit about me, there you go. But I'm sitting here looking at 2 games, Cold War, Spider-Man Miles Morales, and an extra PS5 controller that I can do absolutely nothing with. You know, hey, there's me clicking some buttons on the PS5. That's about as much PS5 as I'm getting. I don't know. So I'm in the same boat as you guys. I made my accounts. I tried to go to websites when they would launch, only to be beat out by bots. And I feel the same pain you guys feel. I think everybody needs to take to Twitter and, you know, just with a single a single message, let Sony know how you guys feel. Hashtag you dropped the ball. Just let them know how you feel, because this is ridiculous, man. We got people doing drop watch live streams because maybe this is nothing. This is all hype. Like, nobody on these streams knows anything. Just streaming. Sony got us all looking strung out. That's all I want to jump on here and talk to you guys about. You know, I hope it gets better for some of you guys, and for everybody else, I'll see y'all spring 2021 on PS5. See ya.